This show is brought to you by Directory.com, the safest way to hire a contractor.
Welcome back to Home Morning Brew with the homeowners. We are talking about final payments. What's the reasonable amount to hold from your contractor? He finished the roof, he finished that siding, he finished the painting, but you have a touch-up list. There's a few things that left to do. Maybe it's a cleaning, maybe they broke something. You're not happy with the things here and there. How much can you hold off? I see homeowners sometimes being extremely unreasonable when you have a $40,000 project and your contractor has been at it for 4 weeks. He sends you invoice, but you have three things that probably a couple $100, maybe some touch-up items, but you holding an entire amount from the contractor until he finishes. In exterior remodeling, often item would be gutters or gutter covers. So a contractor would do roofing, siding, windows, and then everybody's waiting on the gutter guy. I remember when I run my roofing company, we always prioritize insurance claims with the gutters on them because we must get paid. Sometimes it's $20,000 and you have to do $1,000. Guys, what do you think? What's the reasonable amount for touch-ups?
We actually have it in our contract that they can a holdback of no more than 10% of the project. For us, it's either gutters or a garage door that needs to be replaced because sometimes those take 4 to 6 weeks to arrive, and
Window
then
screens?
they have to be painted, and window screens. Those
Yep.
are the bane of my existence. I don't know how many times we've said we're not doing window screens anymore, and then we end up going back to window screens just because the clients are asking for it. But yeah, we'll tend to put and from the consumer standpoint, read what you're signing because it does, if a contractor worth their salt is going to have these type of things in their contract, it's to protect like the scenario that Dimitri gave, where all 99% of the work has been completed. Certainly, a lot of cost has been assumed, and the contractor does need to collect a majority of the payment left. We say 10%, even if it's just screens. 10% of a $50,000 job, $5,000. It's only costing a couple hundred for screens all the way around, but we still allow for that just so that, again, to be responsible business owners, uh, cash flowing our business, making sure that we're not only just covering our bills, but also, being profitable on it. And so, yeah, I think 10% is a reasonable amount. Jason, what do you guys do over there at Eustis?
Yeah, so the normal amount is 10% in Florida. That's what typical construction companies will hold against their subs or homeowners against the contractors. But for me, the most stressful point is when the homeowner has paid me in full and they have an issue that I need to solve. So for me, I always don't like that position because I feel like a lot of pressure because they've already paid me. So I always advise 10% until you're satisfied with the job. I know for us, like we want the customer to sign a satisfaction card, go through everything, make sure they're satisfied before we collect the payment. So we're kind of all up front on that, but I would withhold 10% if I was a customer.
I want to give advice to the homeowners about payment, and then I'll give you a secret weapon that you can use against contractors. Contractors will hate me for it, but first, I want to give you advice. Your contractor works super hard. If you want to be respected and your contractor to treat you well, show respect first. Your contractor probably desperate for payment at the end of the project, not because he's going broke, but if he use good crew needs to get paid, materials needs to get paid. We don't have very big credit lines. Usually it's 30 days. And on a bigger project, especially if we're talking about siding, gutters, or kitchen remodel, I mean, we're waiting for it. Because if you're the homeowner, if you ever attempted anything at your house, everything takes longer than projected, just the nature of it. I've been contractor for 15 years, and to this day, if I do something in my house, it always takes longer. Stuff breaks, weather, materials, delays. There's so many uncontrollable. So when it comes to the final payment, we all at the last straw. So just showing some grace and just being reasonable with the payment, not ignoring him, not going on vacation for 2 weeks on a cruise on the last day of the project. Think about them too. So my first advice is make sure if you can financially and you generally like your contractor, be proactive, show goodwill, like, hey, I'm the good guy. Contractors love homeowners who pay on time. We're gonna love you more. You're gonna be our favorite homeowners. That's number one. With that being said, here's your secret weapon. I didn't learn it the hard way here in Minnesota. There are a lot of laws in a lot of states. I learned it. I have a very nasty homeowner years ago, and I was finishing his job, and I knew he's going to be in trouble. I sent him final invoice, and he informed me that legally he can hold my final payment for 30 days, right? So sometimes it's not what I put in contract, it's not what I put in writing or you sign. Sometimes there are local laws. You have to change, you have to check your laws, but there are laws just like you have 3 days right to cancel the contract after you sign it. The same way, and contractor have to put it in writing. There are laws. Check with your state though. But sometimes contractor can't really go after it. They cannot file, for example, lien rights. They cannot file a lien sooner than 30 days after completion. So very similar laws exist, and I'm pretty sure it was the case in Minnesota. At least it was for many years on a final payment. Yes, we agreed. I mean, I cannot even sue you. I cannot even take a legal action up until 30 days. And I know one contractor used it against me in Atlanta, Georgia. Same thing. I was a subcontractor. I built this kitchen cabinet, and the guy pretty much told me, I'm not paying you until 30 days past due. And we have a contract, but nothing legally I could do. So know your rules. But again, even if you don't have legal obligations and you don't have to go an extra mile for your contractor, doing something nice for them and meeting him halfway. I agree with the guys. 10% is very reasonable. And I always tell homeowners, look what I've done, and you want to have leverage. The key is leverage. So if we're talking about touch ups, holding $1,000 or $2,000, it's good. If you think he's not going to come back, you get to keep a couple $1,000. But I don't think it's reasonable keeping $20,000. When he only owes you gutters that worth $1,500 from it.
I can tell you this too, as a consumer who does hire other people to do work that we don't do within our company. In fact, right now we just built our forever home on our land, and I had a pipe fence builder come out. He gave me a price. He started on it. He needed 50% down because the pipe isn't cheap to buy, and he bought all the pipe, all the material for the job up front. So I thought 50% was reasonable. I did vet him. Um, but he said, I don't need the other 50% until the job is completed and you're happy. Love that. In fact, I loved it so much, and I've been following the progress so much that yesterday I gave him, he's not finished yet. He has burned everything in. He's welded everything up. He's painted it, but he still has to put on some paneling and do some fit and finish stuff. I went ahead and gave him 5,000 of what he's due yesterday as a check, and he didn't ask for it. And his face just lit up because you could tell like it's taken him a couple of weeks to finish this project, but he could use it, and he was doing such a great job. I wanted him to know that I appreciated how good of a job he's doing. It goes a long way too when they're doing the fit and finish at the very end to keep your contractor happy.
We'll do a better job for sure. We always do. I mean, it just makes us happy, and especially with the guys that work for us too.
Yes.
But I think, Dimitri, expectations, like for the homeowner to set those at the beginning, it really helps the contractor know that you're serious. Like let him know, hey, I'm going to hold 10% until this is done or whatnot, or that, you're doing your homework on the liens and stuff like that. So that I want my lien release. You say that at the beginning, and it helps the contractor understand that you're serious about this job, and it'll run off the bad players in the industry too.
I agree 100%. And again, it goes a long way. Homeowners out there listening, keep in mind too, we also rate you. Just like you rate contractors, you give us reviews and stuff. Unfortunately, we don't have websites to rate homeowners. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's demanding. Like for all my tech people, if you want to build a business rating homeowners, it'll be in high demand, but it's probably not going to happen with all the regulations in this country. Nobody likes when people rate them. But in reality, this is how we rate you. Like the only thing we truly care is the payments and how are you with the money. We call contractors because we are contracting to do work for the price. We buy materials, we hire crews, we clear our schedules, and the only thing you have to do is pay us for that contract. And when you are funny about payments, about down payments, and you can tell during the initial estimate processes, some people will just be hard because to be honest with you, every contractor knows those type of people who just hard from the beginning to the end with their money. Oh, I'm not going to pay you down payment until materials are on site, or I'm not going to give you down payment until this. Or, if you're like that, guess what? You're killing the drive, even of the best contractor in town. You pretty much, telling us that you're not going to be easy about it and we'll have to fight for every dollar. And this is not what this agreement is about. We want to do the good work, but we also want to be respected and get paid on time. And I think it's reasonable for both sides. So treat your payments like something that earns your respect and your reputation in our eyes too. Do you guys agree?
Oh yeah.
100%. Yeah, I agree.
And there's just something about intention. Sometimes people say, and also it goes other way. Like the worst customers, they just not only they don't care in the beginning, oftentimes they ask us to, for urgency. Like my roof is leaking, do it here and now. And we drop everything and do it. And at the end, we have to chase them. We have to go after them. And, it's the worst thing is when we have to spend weeks and weeks uh, with a homeowner who's just ghosting us. Talking about contractors who are ghosting homeowners, think about homeowners ghosting contractors. Nobody likes those. When we come back, we're going to discuss what to do if your contractor comes back and he does not like your final payment plan and he decides to take the job in his own hands and take his work back, take his kitchen cabinets and roof back because you did not pay him in full. Vandalism, non-payment issues, disputes towards the end of the job when we come back.